Important week for Micheál Martin, Gavan and his delegation. To what extent, though, do you think will all of this be overshadowed by what's happening in Ukraine?
Oh, there's no doubting, Colette, that it's not going to be the usual St Patrick's Day week with all the paddy whackery and the shillelaghs and the greening that we've become used to. This is not going to be a celebratory week because everywhere you turn here in Washington, in fact I suspect anywhere in America, Ukraine is all that anyone is really thinking about. Yesterday morning on the political talk show programmes on Sunday mornings, it was the only topic of discussion. There are many artistic buildings around the city, different theatres and different art centres, performing venues, all of which have been lit up in the blue and yellow of Ukraine. And even only about 10 yards to our side, a mural which was not there yesterday morning, blue and yellow ribbons tied around some fences in memory of what they say are Ukrainian children killed by Russia's bombardment of that country. And even just as a sign of how much it's going to dominate the meeting between Joe Biden and Micheál Martin when he comes to the White House here in 3 days' time, was last night an itinerary released by the White House confirming that the meeting will be taking place on St Patrick's Day, as it always does, and outlining that the very first thing on the agenda would be the ongoing crisis in Ukraine and the role that Ireland and the rest of the European Union can play in bringing forward more sanctions as something of a deterrent for Russia. It is very obvious that it is going to be the top item for discussion. Now, you may say that that could be both a good or a bad thing. It is perhaps a bad thing because it doesn't mean that a Taoiseach will be able to come over here with the usual shopping list of things that they'd like to be able to discuss. So Micheál Martin won't be coming here looking for some kind of changes perhaps on tax reforms, or he's not going to be able to come over here looking for the 50,000 undocumented Irish living in the United States to be legalised. But perhaps it is a sign that Ireland is now increasingly something of a significant player. For example, last night's statement from the White House said that Ireland will be a key partner in a lot of these discussions around what to do in Ukraine, specifically because of its role on the UN Security Council. So maybe there is a little bit of an illustration there that Ireland is no longer some peripheral country on the side of Europe, that it doesn't have much of a sway of these things, that perhaps Joe Biden, when he receives Micheál Martin in the Oval Office on Thursday, will be seeing him as something of a partner, of a collaborator, perhaps even as something of an equals. So it may not be the St Patrick's Day that we're used to, there may not be the same festivities, there may not be the same joyous atmosphere when the Bowl of Shamrock is presented on Thursday, but it will still be a meeting in which hard business is done, and maybe that in its own way is a tribute to the role that Ireland now plays in this city and in this country.